This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25. It is Tuesday, September 21st. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. Happy last day of summer, everyone.
Well, quick action by Nevada Highway Patrol troopers leads to the arrest of 3 men suspected of armed robbery at the Best Buy store in Carson City.
Monday afternoon, troopers stopped a Pontiac G6 sedan in Reno that matched the description of a vehicle involved in an armed robbery at the Best Buy store in Carson City just a short time earlier. The 3 adult males inside the vehicle were detained as troopers investigated. During the stop, officers found a black-handled revolver and 2 laptops inside the vehicle. The driver, identified as 36-year-old Roderick Soriano of Reno, was arrested for driving under the influence, possession of stolen property, and conspiracy to commit burglary. The front passenger, identified as 40-year-old Francis Tianco, also of Reno, was arrested for conspiracy to commit burglary, possession of stolen property, possession of drug paraphernalia, and failure to obey a court order. The rear passenger, identified as 46-year-old Benjamin Calderon, was arrested for robbery with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit burglary, possession of stolen property, and failure to obey a court order. All 3 suspects were booked into the Washoe County Jail.
Nevada Highway Patrol has identified the driver killed in a weekend crash on I-15 in Las Vegas.
Troopers say a Nissan Pathfinder SUV with 2 occupants inside was traveling southbound on I-15 around 2 a.m. Saturday. Preliminary investigation found that as the vehicle approached the Lake Mead Boulevard off-ramp, it traveled across the right shoulder and down a rocky embankment where it overturned, ejecting the unrestrained driver. That person, identified as 32-year-old LaJoyce Stewart of Las Vegas, died at the scene. The passenger was transported to UMC Trauma Center in critical condition. This crash marks the Nevada Highway Patrol Southern Command's 59th fatal crash, resulting in 68 fatalities this year.
And a report of a burglary in progress leads to the arrest of 2 individuals here in Pahrump.
On the evening of September 5th, Nye County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to a possible burglary in progress. When deputies arrived at the residence on South Cynthia Street, they observed an occupant running around inside the residence. While the 2 initial responding deputies were setting up a perimeter awaiting for additional units to arrive, a female suspect, later identified as Cassandra Port, exited the residence and she was subsequently detained. A male suspect, later identified as Mitchell Disick, exited the residence while deputies were still on scene. Disick ran off on foot. However, after several days evading arrest, he was taken into custody on the 15th. During questioning by law enforcement, Port admitted to deputies that she and Disick were illegally squatting in the property after Port had learned from an acquaintance that the property was being foreclosed upon by a bank. Port also admitted to deputies that she did not have the permission of the property owner to be there. When deputies searched the personal property of Port, they found items that were later confirmed to be drug paraphernalia. Port was booked with charges of unlawful occupancy of real property, conspiracy to commit non-felony crime, and usage or possession of drug paraphernalia. Disick is also facing charges related to this crime. His charges are also unlawful occupancy of real property, conspiracy to commit non-felony crime, and resisting a public official. If you have any additional information pertaining to this arrest, you are encouraged to contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more local news on arrests, and we have a Lady A ticket giveaway coming up. We'll be right back.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Sunset Valley Pools. For quality service and supplies, call 775-513-4114.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, 2 women are in custody after sheriff's deputies stop a home burglary in progress.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office arrested Brandy Woodall and Jennifer Turman on September 14th after responding to a call of suspicious activity reported at a residence on East Dollar Street here in Pahrump. When law enforcement made contact with the two suspects, it was determined that Woodall was at the house at the request of the homeowner to clean up the house. However, deputies observed a U-Haul truck parked in the front of the residence containing several items later determined to belong to the homeowner. Woodall did not have permission from the homeowner to be in possession of these items, and she also did not have permission for Turman to enter the property or be in possession of the homeowner's belongings. The value of the belongings is estimated to be $1,200. According to the arrest summary, when deputies verified the identity of Jennifer Turman, it was determined that she had outstanding warrants and was subsequently taken into the custody of the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Both Woodall and Turman have been charged with residential burglary in the first degree, possession of stolen property equal to $1,200 but less than $5,000, and Turman is facing additional charges related to her outstanding warrants. That includes a charge of failure to appear after bail has been issued for a misdemeanor crime, and finally, failure to appear after bail has been issued for a felony crime. If you have any additional information related to this crime, contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000.
Well, Artesian Cellars in Pahrump is celebrating 1 year in business. The winery is growing in popularity with locals and visitors too. We caught up with the owners and winemaker Tim Burke and his wife, Chief Operating Officer Pam Tyler, who report things are going really well.
This year we're doing about 17 tons of Nevada grapes, which will make us about 1,000 cases, which makes us probably one of the largest wineries in the state of Nevada grapes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and it means that we can do 5,000 cases of wine a year.
By hitting the state 25% requirement.
Wow.
For Nevada grapes. We were able to work with Assemblyman Hafen and Senator Gocochea and get some changes made to the law. Previously to this last session, wineries licensed after 2015 could only serve the wine that they made in their winery, even though distilleries and breweries could serve anything. We got the law changed. It took a lot of work because they were introduced by Republicans in a democratically controlled legislature this year, but everybody saw that it wasn't fair. So we were able to get that through. So now we do sell some beers and some whiskeys and things, because it came as a shock to us, but not everybody drinks wine.
Yeah.
So occasionally, you know, for that person that doesn't, now we have another option for them here at the winery. We just finished harvesting out of Dyer, Nevada, up near Tonopah. A little higher in elevation, so the grapes take a little longer there. We actually started about July 28th, though, out in the Amargosa Valley harvesting there. The largest vineyard in the state is out in the Amargosa Valley. We just introduced our Petite Syrah,
Yes.
and it's flying out of here. People are really enjoying the Petite Syrah.
And that's actually what's in our glass right now.
Yeah, and for our sweet drinkers, we introduced a sweet Gewürztraminer, German style grape, and that's also very popular.
We have a whole little retail component. It's kind of fun in the retail area. So.
And we just expanded our retail area
And
for the holidays.
I just got in some cool new merchandise that we didn't have before. So.
Well, it's an impressive story of turning the tide. One principal's quest to change a New York high school from failing to succeeding. And he's put it all down in his new book. But this isn't just a heartwarming story, it's a blueprint for school leaders nationwide. The book by Dr. Mark Abram is called What Success Looks Like, and it's a guide to getting the most at-risk kids to graduation. Kim Martinez reports.
It's about having a vision.
Mark Abraham is a former public high school principal from Buffalo, New York. This is one of the ways he would pump up his high-risk teens, getting them amped to walk into school each day. Abraham is known for successfully turning around a high school that was failing for years within record time.
I need you to believe that they can be successful.
He's now bringing his out-of-the-box methods to the rest of the nation as the author of his new book, What Success Looks Like.
The book is talking about giving principals and superintendents and school leaders and teachers real practical strategies on how to increase graduation rates for black and brown males. The research shows that black males and brown males have the lowest graduation rates in the country.
He teaches and preaches accountability and thorough data gathering and analysis on students and teachers alike. He also talks about raising, not lowering the bar for high-risk kids.
Because we love them and we care about them, we raise the bar. See, most people think that if they care about kids, they lower the bar. I pat you on your back and say, oh, I know you had struggles and you can't do it.
But can't do it isn't in Mark Abraham's vocabulary, a byproduct of his college football days when his team went from one of the worst to winning the championship. Likewise, Abraham flipped his kids from having a losing state of mind to embracing a championship mentality.
I changed the narrative. I said, hey, we're the best school in the land. Often imitated, never duplicated. People were looking at me like, what? We got a 60% graduation rate. How are we calling us the best school in the land?
So you were calling out your students' success before they even got there.
I would just say, we're the best school in the land. We're the best school in the land.
During the next 3 years, his school's graduation rate steadily shot up from 60 to 87% overall, and an even higher 93% for black males.
The book is really a call to action and saying, we have the secret sauce to show school leaders how you actually increase student performance and graduation rates for this subpopulation that the country is saying they didn't have answers for.
Kim Martinez reporting.
All right, we told you about a ticket giveaway.
Yeah, we do. We have tickets, and this is for the 5 p.m. broadcast only. So you need to give us a call, 775-727-9400 to the first 5 callers. And if you call and the phone is busy, please leave a message with your phone number and all the detailed information. But tell everybody what the tickets are about.
Lady A, if you love country, if you love a little bit of rock and roll, then you can win those tickets. You'll get to go to the new Virgin Hotel, the former Hard Rock as well. So call in and good luck.
And that is for this Saturday, September 25th. It's super important that you realize that if you go to the show, they are requiring full vaccination or proof of a negative COVID test within 72 hours of the concert. So the first 5 callers who call, we have 2 pairs of tickets each for 5 callers, 727-9400. Please leave a message. If you don't get in a live person, they will call you back to get you those tickets. Right. And it's going to be held at the theater at the Virgin Hotels in Las Vegas this Saturday night. We hope it, good luck to everybody who calls in, 727-9400.
We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, for the first time, Pfizer has shared early data for their much-anticipated children's COVID-19 vaccine. That vaccine was studied in kids ages 5 to 11. Dr. Frank Esper is an infectious disease specialist with Cleveland Clinic Children's, and he says the children's vaccine is a lower dose than what's given to adults, but it appears just as effective.
They actually decreased the dose to about 1/3 of what they're using in the older age groups. But despite the smaller dose in the smaller children, it actually showed to be as vigorous as the other data we had for older age groups. So we're seeing the antibody response as robust. The threshold, it's meeting that protective threshold.
Like the adult vaccine, the pediatric vaccination is a 2-dose regimen. The data shows it's safe and generated a good immune response in the 2,000-plus children who participated in the trial. Side effects were similar to those seen in older age groups, and there were no reports of a type of heart inflammation called myocarditis. Dr. Esper says the Delta variant has changed the game for kids and COVID-19, and pediatric cases and hospitalizations continue to rise. For that reason, he encourages families to vaccinate children once eligible.
The virus has changed its way, that it is now able to overcome whatever that resistance that children had before. It is not as effective now. Children are at risk. We are seeing children with severe disease. They're getting into the intensive care unit in the most severe circumstances, and is something that we want to protect our children against.
Dr. Esper says it's important to keep in mind that the data is preliminary and still needs to be reviewed by the FDA. Pfizer plans to submit the study results for emergency use authorization in the weeks ahead.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, we're taking a look at the blue skies surrounding Pahrump and a look at what fall's future looks like starting tomorrow in our forecast after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. What a delight to be here on the eve of the autumnal equinox. That's right, it's officially fall. And look at all this fall-like weather we've got all up and down the state. Fernley all the way down to Goldfield, low 80s. Beatty scratching at the door at 90 degrees. 95 in Amargosa and Las Vegas seems pretty pleasant. Death Valley, you're finally out of the hot zone. 104 degrees, it's just barely worth mentioning. You guys, crazy people out there. What do we got in Pahrump? 91. Well, that seems pretty good. 93 a little bit earlier. Yes, nice fall weather. Southwesterly winds at 6 miles per hour. Sun rising this morning in all its glory and promise at 6:31, extinguishing all hope this evening at 6:41 p.m. It should be like 12 and 12 tomorrow, I would think, with the equinox. We'll look forward to that. Low tonight of 62 degrees. Humidity staying pretty dang bone dry at 14% for the minute. As we head into the week, what does that mean? Clear skies tomorrow. Tickle, tickle. But look at all these clouds. Woo! Clouds, clouds, clouds. Lots of clouds. Temperatures hugging the mid-90s reliably throughout the week. Winds staying pretty moderate, under 10 miles per hour throughout most of the week. But we are going to see some rain this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're saying 15% chance. I guess it's kind of a long shot, but when they say it 3 days in a row, I think we're going to see some rain this weekend. So make plans for that, and looking forward to all of the fun we have with Fall Fest and things going on this weekend. Back to the desk. Here's Unette and Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. We're going to go to sports with Doug Ferber.
Hello, sports fans. Yesterday, the PVHS girls volleyball team swept Sunrise Mountain in 3 straight games at home. Seniors Kaylee Hargis and Kiana Touchstone combined for 11 kills. Touchstone and Asia Bibbs had 23 serving points to lead the Lady Trojans in the win. The girls traveled to El Dorado High School for a Wednesday matchup. The PVHS boys soccer team is hosting Basic of Henderson this afternoon. The boys are off to a 2-0 start and looking to keep their perfect record intact. The Trojan cross-country team is running as we speak at Coronado High School. I'll have a wrap-up on both the cross-country meet and the boys soccer game on Thursday's Sports Report. The Pahrump Valley High School football team was shut down by Moapa Valley last Friday, 42-0. The Trojans are now 0-3 on the year, with 1 loss coming on a forfeit. PVHS travels to Boulder City for a Friday night showdown. The Rosemary Clark Middle School cross-country team performed well last Saturday in Moapa at the Pirate Invitational. Aiden Velaz, Julianne Andrisco, Aurora Bowers, and Ben Santiago each brought home individual medals, while Andrisco placed second out of 35 girls competing in the meet over the 1.6-mile course. The UNLV Rebel football team fell to the 14th-ranked Iowa State Cyclones Saturday night by a score of 48-3. The Rebs are off to an 0-3 start, and their schedule doesn't get any easier as they travel to 22nd-ranked Fresno State for a Friday night game. The Las Vegas Raiders are undefeated. Yes, I said it. The Raiders are 2-0 after beating a tough Steeler team in Pittsburgh Sunday, 26-17. Derek Carr completed 28 of 37 passes for 382 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Silver and Black. The Raiders try to make it 3-0 this Sunday when they host the Dolphins at Allegiant. Kickoff is set for 1:05 p.m. The Las Vegas Aces completed their regular season Sunday with an 84-83 win over the Mercury in Phoenix. Kelsey Plum threw down 23 points for the Aces to lead all scorers. Plum was also named WNBA Player of the Month for September. The win was the 4th in a row for Las Vegas, who clinched the Western Conference title with a 24-8 record. The Aces will host a best-out-of-5 playoff series at the Ultralight Arena beginning next Tuesday. Their opponent will be the winner of the 2 single elimination games beginning Thursday. If you have any athletes, inspirational stories, or ideas, drop me an email at dougf@kpvm25.tv. Now back to the news desk.
All right, thanks so much,
Thanks,
Doug.
Doug. Yeah.
And I hope everybody has a wonderful fall festival. As you guys know, my daughter's getting married, so I will be off this week
We'll
because
miss
we're having
you, and congratulations, Darby.
So Unette's going to be here all week long, so that's going to be fun. And thanks so much for covering for me. And we hope everybody has a great fall festival. I will see you for next year's fall festival, but this year, gonna walk her down the aisle. All right. Have a great night. Unette, we'll see you back here tomorrow.
That's right. Enjoy these last few hours of summer. Good night.
Night.